Derek Carr is unretiring. Tyreek Hill is now a free agent, and how the Saints can have a perfect offseason on today's episode of the Home Turf. Welcome to the Home Turf Podcast, your podcast for some daily ball knowledge, with your host, YouTuber B Money, aka me. He is the best player in the NFL, the biggest frauds in the whole NFL. They are by far worse than the Browns. Welcome back, guys, to episode 2 of the Home Turf Podcast. First episode didn't do as bad as I thought it was going to do. Honestly, 20 views for the first podcast episode. That was like an hour long. Not bad. So, let me get a proper intro. What's going on, guys? It's your boy B Money, aka your favorite injury-prone YouTuber. And man, today's a good day, other than your boy is kind of sick. So if I sound sick, it's because I am. I've always wondered this question. It's like, my body is so good at fighting like sicknesses, except for a cold. Like, your boy never gets the flu. Your boy never gets like all this stuff. And I've had a cold for like this whole year, which is insane. And I'd rather have like a crazy flu for like 3 days and just feel awful and then not feel bad for like 5 months straight and then get another crazy flu than having a cold every freaking day. All right, enough about colds. It's time to get into today's episode. And today is actually the first day of the NFL Combine, which I'm really excited about because this year I am freaking excited for this draft. Like, you don't even know how good it's going to be. Man, this combine is just going to be so freaking good. And also, speaking of combines, yesterday they gave the Saints an award. Your boy, the Saints, the New Orleans Saints, an award for best draft of last year, which is unbelievable. And when you look at the people we drafted, we deserve that award. We had the best draft by far. No other team even came close, dude. Our draft literally turned around our team like that. In one season, one draft, our team was completely turned around. But, yes, guys, today, main focus of the video, or the podcast, man, I'm used to this YouTube stuff, is how the Saints can have a perfect offseason. So, today is all about the Saints. Bro, I got peanut butter on my jersey. Okay, I'm so sorry. Dang it. How do I get... Alright, so at the beginning, yes, you did hear. I'm shocked as you guys because this dude kind of ruined our season last year. But Derek Carr is unretiring. He's still kind of unhealthy, but it seems like he is pretty sure he wants to come back. I guess the Phillip Rivers experiment kind of flipped the switch in his brain. He's like, bro, I could do that. Matter of fact, I could do better. Somebody sign me, So as of now, if he does return, he will be a Saint if he comes back from retirement, which is perfect for the Saints because we want him to unretire. As Saints fans, you're not a Saints fan if you don't want Derek Carr to unretire because he literally gives us a free draft pick. Like, even if we trade... So what I want us to do is to obviously get him back and then send him to another team. Because that'll give us a free pick. Even if we get a 7th round pick out of Derek Carr, that would be magnificent. Because you never know. Brock Purdy was a 7th round pick, like stuff like that. You never know what hidden gem you can find in the 7th round. And Derek Carr, quite honestly, if we can get a 6th or 7, dang it, stupid freaking numbers. If we can get a 6th or 7th round pick out of Derek Carr, or both, consider that a fat W for the city of New Orleans. So Derek Carr unretiring is good news. Now, we've had some other good news, or some other like crazy news in the NFL right now. The Miami Dolphins pretty much did a sweep of all of their best players. Bradley Chubb, gone, free agent. Tua, they made a statement saying that they're looking to like kind of get rid of him. I didn't really know if I read that right, but like they kind of don't want him there anymore. They want to find a exit for him. And most importantly, Tyreek Hill is available as a free agent. And, the Saints have been struggling at wide receiver. Chris Olave is good, but it's Chris Olave, and then it just falls off a cliff. So we need somebody else. So with Tyreek Hill being a free agent, is that a good thing? Do we invest in Tyreek Hill? Absolutely not. We do not want Tyreek Hill. While he is a good wide receiver, this dude has legal trouble. This dude is coming off of ripping his whole knee in half. Most disgusting injury I've watched since Alex Smith. It was nasty. Dude ripped his knee in half. He kind of has legal trouble, and he's old. The dude is old. He played with Alex Smith back when Alex Smith was a starter for the Chiefs. So before Mahomes literally was even drafted. This man is old. And us, New Orleans, we don't want old guys. Our team has been old enough for long enough. It's time to bring in some youngins onto the team. Now I want to dive into the main focus of today's video, how the Saints can have a perfect offseason. And we're going to dive into that right after this ads. What's up, y'all? It's your boy B Money. Thank you guys for listening to this podcast. But I have been countlessly grinding for almost a year and a half now, trying to get to 5,000 subscribers. And we are almost at 2,000, which is crazy. So if you're enjoying this podcast, please consider going and check out my other football-related content. Help me get to 2,000 subscribers by, whenever you want. But if you're enjoying, just like, subscribe, share. And this really means a lot. So let's get back to the video. All right, welcome back, guys. Thank you for sitting through that with me. We're trying to work on some deals, and right now the ads are just for my channel. But if we can get some deals in here, that would be so sick, right? So make sure to like and subscribe, like the ad said, and let's get into how the Saints could have the perfect offseason. And it starts with free agency. Most importantly, signing a tight end in free agency. That tight end, ladies and gentlemen, is David Njoku from the Cleveland Browns. He made a statement that he's probably not going to be there this year. He's a free agent. The Saints need to go big and get this man. We're forgetting that this guy led tight ends in receiving last year. He was a dog, and they got their rookie Harold Fannin, which I think is good enough to replace David Njoku. And this is a perfect situation for the Saints to get a pass blocker, run blocker, and receiving tight end. Because Juwan Johnson is great. I like watching him play. He's electric. He likes to jump over people, and that's what you want to see out of a tight end. You want to see an electric player like that. But where he does lack is blocking. I think David Njoku, and he is small. He's 6'4". David Njoku is a lot bigger than that. So he would be a great addition to our team. Foster Moreau. Oh, man. Foster Moreau. Don't even get me started on this man. Oh, my goodness. You guys remember 2 years ago when the Saints played the Jaguars? The year that we had an unlucky season. That was the year that we blew out the Cowboys and the Panthers weeks 1 and 2, the infamous Saints week 1 and 2 season. But that season, we forget, ladies and gentlemen, we could have been a playoff team if we had beaten the Jaguars that year. And Foster Moreau dropped a wide open touchdown to basically kick us out of the playoffs. And for that, I don't want him on this team. I don't want him to receive another target. Let's just drop him. We do not need him. We have Taysom Hill, who's a versatile tight end. He can block, he can run, he can pass, he can catch. And then Juwan Johnson, obviously, electric playmaker downfield. And he can do some blocking here and there. And just to top it off would be getting David Njoku. Oh, man, that just gets me pumped seeing David Njoku in a Saints jersey. Just envisioning that, guys. That would be perfect. But the Saints basically just need to have an insane offseason haul. I'm talking we need to spend so much money. And it's probably going to be money we don't have, which is exactly why we need to make some huge cuts. Now, there are a lot of players going to be free agents, and the Saints can benefit from signing them or letting them go. I have a list of all of the Saints becoming free agents this season. We're just going to go through them, and we're going to see if we should re-sign him or not and see if they actually benefit our team. Oh, man, this name right here, Demario Davis becoming a free agent, kind of breaks my heart because I'm not sure if he's going to be a Saint next year. And he's been a dog. Back in the day, we had the big four: Alvin Kamara, Drew Brees, Demario Davis, and Michael Thomas. Those guys were constantly Pro Bowlers all the time, and I just loved watching him play. So do the Saints re-sign Demario Davis? Yes. I don't think that's a question. This dude somehow just does not age. Like, the older he gets, he doesn't decline in play level. I think he's a great leader of the defense, and he should stay on the team for sure. Maybe we could do a little bit of a pay cut, but that's respectable. If you're an old veteran in the league, unless you're winning Super Bowls and constantly going to Pro Bowls, constantly winning awards, you can't really ask for that much money. And I think that veterans kind of understand that. They kind of understand, hey, I can take a pay cut just as long as I'm still playing for the team that gave me a shot whenever I was playing for the 0-16 Browns, a team that finally gave me the shot, and I balled out for them. I made my money. I'm set for life. So now just let me play football. I'll play football for you guys for free. So that's not for free, obviously. We got to pay him some money because he's a dog, but definitely going to re-sign him. Cam Jordan. Do we re-sign Cam Jordan? And I also think, without a doubt, we re-sign Cam Jordan. Cam Jordan just had a 10-sack season. I forget how old he is. He's in his upper 30s, but I think he's 36 maybe. I don't know. But maybe I'm just making him look really bad. Maybe he's 32. I don't know. But he is old. He said it himself that he's pretty close to retiring. I listened to his podcast, and yeah, he seems like he's pretty much there. The NFL honors, he's doing all of his broadcasting and stuff like that. I think he's kind of inching his way out of the league, but I think we absolutely re-sign him. You could never go wrong with having a veteran like Cam Jordan on the team, who's just a humble guy. He coming off a 10-sack season, by the way. Let me reiterate, 10-sack season as one of I would say he's old, bro. He's been playing since 2012, I'm pretty sure. So that dude's a veteran if I've ever seen one. And but we gotta re-sign him, dude. He's a baller still to this day. Even if he gets 6 sacks, 9 sacks, 8 sacks, 7 sacks, around that area, even if he doesn't hit 10, that's still good. Especially if he's not starting and he's coming into the game. Stuff like that, I think that's how we should play him. So we should obviously re-sign him. Next up, this one's near and dear to my heart. But we got my boy Taysom Hill. Taysom Hill has been that guy in New Orleans for so long. He made the NFL turn heads at the New Orleans Saints. Drew Brees, we thought Drew Brees was enough? No. It took Taysom Hill to get the whole NFL watching us. This dude was a demon. Was is the perfect word. He is coming off tearing his ACL. He's 35, 36, around that area. He's still productive, but I don't really see why he needs to be on our team anymore. I think we can let Taysom Hill go or talk discussion with him hey, do you want to retire? You can retire, but if you still want to play, you know what? We're going to sign you, but we're going to cut your paycheck in half because you're not valuable enough to us anymore. He's not having these games where he is look at Taysom Hill, man. Carried us today. He did have his good game against the Jets, but it's the Jets. That defense didn't even get an interception. Taysom Hill balled out that game, and I'm so happy for him, but at what point is he just not able to play anymore, right? Next up, we got Alontae Taylor. This is one of the ones that is really a hard decision, but I think we're going to have to let him go. He's obviously a great player. One of the things I like about him so much is that he's a corner, but he literally sacks the quarterback like a D-end, and he hits players, especially running backs. He's hitting running backs like a linebacker, and I really like that. He's fierce. Obviously, the thumbs down celebration, it's so popular because of him. And he's an absolute dog, but he's not good enough to be paid cornerback 1 money, and that's what he's asking for. I know he wants to stay in New Orleans. I follow him on Instagram, see all of his stories, but he wants money, and another team can pay that for him. Honestly, if we weren't like negative $50 billion like in cap space, like we have no money to spend, I would totally re-sign him and pay him cornerback one money. But I don't think us as a team, we can't afford to pay him. We're gonna have to let him go. And obviously, we talked about Foster Moreau. He should not be on the team next year. I don't even want to hear him. Like, I don't want him here. Now, those are the main guys. I'm not going to get into, like, all the players. But, like, Michael Davis, like, another veteran corner. Like, we could keep him. Like, it's not going to hurt us by keeping him. But, I think we need to make as much cuts as possible. Because we need to sign some more big free agents. Here are these Saints need to get these two players. I'm talking about Wyatt Teller, offensive lineman from the Cleveland Browns. He is one of or the best offensive guard in the NFL. He is such a dog. And the Browns just pissed me off. They just hoard all these good players, and they still suck. Wyatt Teller, Myles Garrett. Even like, you know what, never mind. They hoard a couple good players, but they just suck. And Wyatt Teller being a free agent is amazing news for the New Orleans Saints. If I'm our GM, Mickey Loomis, I'm calling up Wyatt Teller's agent right now and be like, how much does he want? And how long does he want to play for us? And whatever he says, we pay him. Like, it has to be done. And then next up, a controversial one. Should the New Orleans Saints sign A.J. Brown? I've seen this question asked a lot. Multiple different, like, Locked On podcasts for the Saints, Chat Sports Saints, watch all those guys. Should we sign A.J. Brown? A lot of people will say, he's a diva. We don't want him. He's a troublemaker. He's selfish. We don't like him. I'm sorry, but where are you guys getting that narrative from? Did you not watch last NFL season? He went like 5. I had him on my fantasy team, so I was going through it with him. He literally went 5 games being targeted like 3 times. Philadelphia's offense completely fell apart, and the funniest thing is they tried to force feed him targets at the end, and their team just got worse by doing it. So, of course I would be selfish. Of course I would be mad. Of course I would be a diva / troublemaker, whatever you want to call him, if I was one of the best wide receivers in the league and getting targeted 3 times in 5 games. Like, that would be awful. We're forgetting, guys, that this is the same A.J. Brown when our head coach Kellen Moore was his OC last year, he went to the Super Bowl, caught a touchdown in the Super Bowl, balled out in the Super Bowl, matter of fact, and he was a top 5 receiver in the league. If we can get our hands on A.J. Brown, that would be great. A.J. Brown is such a dog, and I think that he gets a rookie quarterback who can obviously sling the rock, and he's seen it, he knows. His old offensive coordinator that loved A.J. Brown, that loved getting him the ball, there you go. There's your answer. We need A.J. Brown. And making those cuts, like I said, Alontae Taylor, Foster Moreau, Taysom Hill, those kind of guys, we can cut to make room for A.J. Brown. And obviously, it's still going to cost some money. But we got to make some investments. We can't be a cheapskate in today's age of the NFL. You can't do it. You got to pay big money to win the big games. And same with college football. That's just how the way the game is working now. So, free agency is one of the most important things. Now, obviously, guys, this year for the Saints is huge for the draft. With the number 8 pick, we could go with anybody. Caleb Downs, I'm sure you've heard that. Mekhi Lemon, what am I thinking? Jordan Tyson, Carnell Tate, and then my personal favorite, Jeremiah Love. So, in class today, I was doing a ton of mock drafts because I get so bored in class. It's so bad. I'm a senior in high school, barely go to class, and when I'm in class, I just do mock drafts because I love it. But I think that today I got the perfect New Orleans Saints mock draft. So I'm going to go through it with you guys and kind of get your opinion on it. I've done a couple, so next video or next episode, I think I'm going to do my first round mock draft for every team. Like, I'm going to pick for every team. But today, I just want to go through my New Orleans Saints mock draft because I think that I got the perfect mock draft that the Saints have to do. Okay? So, obviously, the first round, the first 7 picks before the Saints determines our pick. Obviously, Raiders go Fernando Mendoza. Jets, they picked Arvell Reese. Cardinals went Spencer Fano. And then this is where it starts deciding who the Saints are going to draft. Number 4, Tennessee Titans picked Ruben Bain, which now, because they just traded for Jermaine Johnson, I don't think they're going to do that. I think that the Titans, if they're smart, will draft Cardinal Tate at 4. Next up, the Giants has them picking Cardinal Tate. I think they're going to have to pivot. They might go Jordan Tyson, depending on what the Titans do. The Browns get Francis Moaga from Miami. And 7, Kendrick Falk from Auburn. This left me with every option. Caleb Downs, David Bailey, Jeremiah Love, Mekhi Lemon, Jordan Tyson? Why can't I think of anybody? Mekhi Lemon. So, with the 8th pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the New Orleans Saints selected Jeremiah Love. Now, I think Jeremiah Love is the best option for the New Orleans Saints at pick number 8. First off, everybody's saying that we need a wide receiver. What wide receiver is there to draft other than Mekhi Lemon? But Jeremiah Love helps the pass game. He opens the pass game. Our people play the Saints and they don't game plan for the run. They only game plan on the pass, which makes it hard to win. But when defensive coordinators are game planning for Jeremiah Love, they don't have time to only focus on the pass game, which is going to leave holes. When defenders themselves have to focus on whether Jeremiah Love's going to get a dump off and take it for 80 yards or throw it over the top to Chris Olave, they're going to struggle against the Saints. Now, yes, we could draft another wide receiver, and it's fine. That'll still improve our pass game. But, guys, we haven't had an 1,000-yard rusher in so long. Not even Alvin Kamara has rushed for 1,000 yards. Even though Alvin Kamara has been great, we've seen it before. The Saints have done it before. Mark Ingram and Alvin Kamara, they played, and dude, our team was the best it's ever been when we had 2 really good running backs, a power running back and a receiving running back. Jeremiah Love is perfect because he's both. He can freaking run through your face. He can catch the ball just like a wide receiver, and he can jump. Have you seen this dude's highlights? He just hurdles everybody. And who doesn't want to watch a New Orleans Saints player hurdle the frick out of everybody, right? So I think Jeremiah Love is perfect for this team. He's a perfect counter. I know a lot of people, their argument is, oh, you haven't given Kendre Miller a chance. Oh, you haven't given Devin Neal a chance. Quiet down, okay? That was zesty. My bad. Quiet silence from you. Kendre Miller can't play a full season, and he won't ever play a full season. This dude's, he's not bad, but this dude, his knees suck, So no, Devin Neal in his first season with us injured. We can't be relying on Audric Estime and Taysom Hill. While Audric Estime did play pretty good for us, we can't rely on those guys. We need somebody that can be a workhorse running back. You look at all of the teams in our division, they all have workhorse running backs except for us. Bijan Robinson, Rico Dowdle. The Buccaneers have Bucky Irving. These are all guys that they will give 30 snaps to and make them run a ton, which is what we need. Jeremiah Love right now, which is even crazier too, because I was literally just talking about how he's going to help the pass game. His NFL comparisons are Jahmyr Gibbs, Bijan Robinson, and Breece Hall. All people, it says right here, his evaluators highlight his elite speed, pass catching ability, and high volume workhorse roles. All of these guys you just heard, Jahmyr Gibbs, Bijan, Breece Hall, are all insane running backs. And I think Jeremiah Love has potential to do that for sure. So next up, with the second round pick 42, I have the Saints taking Chris Bell, wide receiver out of Louisville. I know lots of people kind of probably won't like this pick. Chris Bell is coming off of a knee injury, and we kind of don't. He had an ACL tear. The reason why I picked him is, first off, I like that he played with Tyler Shuck in college. That connection is perfect. And Chris Bell is also a really big body wide receiver. He's 6'2", 220. This year he had 6 touchdowns, almost 1,000 yards receiving. He's just shy of 1,000 yards. And he went off. His highlights are nice, and the fact that he already has chemistry with Tyler Shuck would be great for the New Orleans Saints. His draft comparisons are A.J. Brown, Xavier Legette, Juju Smith-Schuster. Imagine if we had A.J. Brown, Chris Bell, and Chris Olave. We're talking a guy who can go deep, Chris Olave, and a guy who can make good possession catches. A.J. Brown, a guy, because Chris Olave, we can't throw it up to him and expect him to come down with that. A.J. Brown can come down with those passes, and then you just give Chris Bell, it's kind of the same thing. I also liked Chris Bell because at the time, I didn't know, obviously I don't know if the Saints are going to sign A.J. Brown. So if we can't get A.J. Brown, might as well draft a receiver that is A.J. Brown. You know what I mean? So that's what I like that there. Now, with the 73rd pick, I went with Keontae Scott, cornerback out of Miami. Now, cornerback's maybe not our most needed position, but at the same time, it is because, like I said, the New Orleans Saints need to get rid of Alontae Taylor. And whenever I was doing research on Keontae Scott, he's 6 foot, 192. He had only had 2 interceptions this year, but, you saw him play in the Natty. He was pretty locked down. He was good. And I was kind of looking. I was interested. And I was like, who is Keontae Scott's NFL comp? This is whenever I was doing the draft. This is literally what it says. Keontae Scott's frequently compared to New Orleans Saints corner Alontae Taylor. And that got me hyped, man. Because I love Alontae Taylor. But Alontae is, he's not the best. He's asking for big money. He's kind of on the older side of corners. So why not get just a younger version of Alontae Taylor? Keontae Scott is really good at his run stopping, run support. He's a good tackler. He makes fierce tackles. He's really good at blitzing, and he disrupts so many plays. And I just think that he is perfect. I love a corner that can make tackles and do them well. Not just no ankle diving, ankle slapping. Alontae Taylor put big hits on big players. And I think Keontae Scott would be a great addition to Kool-Aid McKinstry, Quincy Riley, and Keontae Scott. Just a full team of young corners. Man, that just gets me excited just thinking about it. So next up, also, by the way, guys, if you want, go ahead and comment down below, if you like this mock draft. Let me know what additions I should make. 132, I took Anthony Lucas from USC. Honestly, I haven't done much research on Anthony Lucas, but I kind of just did best available for this one, and I think it did turn out well. Anthony Lucas had 21 tackles, 3 sacks, and a forced fumble at USC. He's a defensive end, so he will be a good replacement for Cam Jordan, and he would be perfect along Chase Young, who also, he missed 5 games and didn't have any, and still had 10 sacks. Anthony Lucas is compared to George Karlaftis, the defensive end for the Chiefs, and I think that's a good comparison. George Karlaftis is pretty good. Anthony Lucas, I was doing some more research on him before I started this episode, and he has a nice reach. He's 6'5", 285. He's pretty quick. He has a good reach, which is always good for defensive ends. I think that he's a solid player. Next up, I went D-line. We got Chris McClellan, D-lineman out of Missouri. We need somebody to help Brian Bresee, and D-line was one of our biggest problems, interior D-line. This guy, Chris McClellan, 6'4", 323 pounds. Basically just your prototype nose tackle. He had 6 sacks, 15 tackles. at Mizzou. I really like Chris McLeland. I was looking at his highlights. The dude's a dog, all right? Like, we're not going to go wrong with him. 323, man. That is crazy. Then next up, I finally addressed addressed our interior O-line. I know a lot of people think that that's what we need the most, but I wanted to do it in the 4th round, because why not? Right now, our interior line, Dylan Rodunz, I didn't mention him, but he's becoming a free agent, and Cesar Ruiz, man, these guys, the problem, Cesar Ruiz is always hurt. We no doubt need to have a replacement for him. And then Dylan Rodunz, we can let him go, in my opinion, which I didn't mention back there, but anyways, the interior line, I spoiled it. Okay. With pick 148, I think the New Orleans Saints should draft Bo Steffens, offensive guard for Iowa. This dude, oh man, when I was doing my research on him, I got like the chills, bro. I was like, man, the Saints need to get him. Imagine this guy and Wyatt Teller. Look, this guy, Bo Steffens, 6'5", 315. Anybody want to take a wild guess of how many sacks he allowed? 0. 0 sacks allowed for Iowa. I'm pretty sure Iowa won an award for best O-line in college football. And he's part of that. He allowed 0 sacks, and he only had 3 total quarterback pressures. This dude is a dog. Maybe he won't change our team right away. Maybe we could miss on him. Maybe his stats are too good to be true. But on paper, 6'5", 315, no sacks allowed, and only 3 pressures, sounds like a guy that would give Tyler Shuck infinite time. So you have, I'm so sorry, guys. I'm blanking. Yep, Kelvin Banks on the left tackle. Best rookie lineman out of last year. And he was graded like top 5 by the end of the season. Wyatt Teller, right here. Eric McCoy, who is a solid Pro Bowl level corner, or center. I'm so stupid. Holy crap. And then Bo Steffens and Talisi Fuaga. That just gets me excited. Oh my goodness. If I was Tyler Shuck, I would be on my hands and knees begging the Saints to draft this guy, Bo Steffens. Then next up, pick 170, I decided to go with Pat Coogan, center for Indiana. Obviously, Indiana won the Natty. This guy is a dog also. 6'5", 310. And he allowed 0 sacks, had 6 QB pressures. So he is also a really solid guy. And I mean, he's one of the reasons Fernando Mendoza was so good in college. And he's one of the reasons Mendoza is going to be a first overall pick. Pat Coogan, when he played for Notre Dame last year when they went to the Natty, and he also allowed 0 sacks and only had 6 total pressures. And then this year for Indiana, he allowed 7 total pressures, 0 sacks also. Center's not our most needed position, like I was saying. Eric McCoy is a good center, but again, our guys just struggle with being healthy. You can't go wrong with getting a guy who allowed 0 sacks to back up Eric McCoy and learn from him. Also, if the Saints end up not drafting this guy, I think we should get Pat Coogan anyways, because if they don't draft Bo Steffens, Pat Coogan is versatile. He's played guard before, and he can play guard well. So he's either a center or guard, and I think he'll be good at both. So next up, I think this was last pick in the draft. Yep. Last pick in the draft, pick 189 in the 6th round. I went with Jayshawn Barham, linebacker out of Michigan. Linebacker's not our most needed position, as we got Danny Stutzman, who's a dog. We drafted him last year, and then obviously if we bring back Demario Davis, but I think we need some depth. I think that we can find a diamond in the rough with Jayshawn Barham, because this dude is a dog. He had 21 solo tackles, 4 sacks. I think he's a versatile edge rusher, outside linebacker type, which is what we need because, again, like sending him through on a blitz would be perfect. Like, this guy is just a dog. His comparison is Quay Walker, the linebacker for the Packers. Quay Walker, like, you guys know, he's a dog too. Like, there are some players that they give him like kind of bad comparisons. Like, I've seen people be compared to like Tua and Geno Smith. You don't want to be compared to Geno Smith, right? But all of these guys that I have picked are being compared to like Pro Bowl level players, except for Chris McClellan, who was compared to some random dude on the Chiefs. He's still a dog, I think. Okay, that's a diamond in the rough. And I think that would just be the perfect cherry on top. And then obviously if we get another 6th round pick or a 7th round pick from Derek Carr, man, we could get so many good players. But I'm just so excited for this draft. I hope you guys like that mock draft. But there we go. That is my perfect mock draft. The Saints obviously could change some stuff around. We could sign a free agent running back. It looks like Breece Hall is staying with the Jets. Looks like he's going to get franchise tag. So if we don't go Jeremiah Love, I think we should sign either like Tyler Algier, Travis Etienne, or Kenneth Walker, and then go ahead and draft our number 1 wide receiver, Mekhi Lemon or Jordan Tyson. I don't think, sadly, I don't think Carnell Tate is going to be there. Honestly, if Carnell Tate was going to be there, I would draft him over Jeremiah Love. He just is such a dog. Like, he is so good. But, yeah, so if we can get a good running back in free agency, I don't see a problem with going wide receiver number 1. But like I was saying, when you have a guy who's being compared to Bijan Robinson, Jahmyr Gibbs, and Breece Hall, like, oh, man, you just can't complain with that. Everybody made fun of the Lions for drafting Jahmyr Gibbs in the first round at like pick 12. People were like, running backs are a dead position. Nobody should draft a running back this high in the first round. But like, I remember looking at that draft grade, I think it was a D or a C minus. People thought that was the worst pick ever. Now look at him. Jahmyr Gibbs is one of, if not the best running back in the NFL, because of how versatile he is. And I think that's what the Saints need to do here. Jeremiah Love is a once-in-a-lifetime kind of talent. This dude is so quick. He can catch the ball. Like, if you go watch his highlights, first play you'll see of him is he once hands a catch and then runs it for 60 yards. Next play, a full linebacker will be standing up and he'll just jump over him. And then the next play after that will be like a 70-yard run. Just straight burst, spin move, juke, whatever you want to call it. This dude is electric. And then this is my hidden gem, guys. Keep it a secret, because if the Saints get this guy, oh man. Some guy I've been really high on. Shout out my friend Tyler for actually discovering this guy. But Denzel Boston out of Washington, 6'4" wide receiver, just a jump ball merchant. At first, my friend Tyler is a diehard Bills fan. We're probably going to get him on this podcast to have him talk about the Bills, but he is just a jump ball merchant. Tyler really wants the Bills to draft him, but out of nowhere, his draft stock's been skyrocketing. I went from not knowing who he was to knowing that he's going to be a 2nd or 3rd round pick, then to, he's going to get drafted by the Bills in the first round at pick like 24. All right, that's who they have. Pick 26. He's going to go to the Bills at pick 26. And now, in this most recent mock draft, they have him going to the Jets above Jordan Tyson. Jordan Tyson's draft stock is falling because we're not sure if he's going to even be healthy enough. Like, people are concerned about, but Denzel Boston, I clicked on his highlight. Dude, as a punt returner, he just cooks everybody. And then he just goes up for one-hand freaking fade balls. And we need that. We need the art of fade balls back. We need a big body wide receiver. That's what I've been saying. We have our speed guy. Potentially, we could re-sign Rashid Sheet, maybe. Or like Calvin Austin. We can get a speed guy. But it's so hard to come across jump ball guys. Like, we need somebody that we can honestly just throw the ball up to and be like, it's a coin flip. Like, most receivers, it's either batted down or intercepted. but we want a coin flip. We want a 50-50 ball, and I think Denzel Boston makes it a 60-40 ball. I think he's going to come down with it more than not. So, honestly, if the Commanders go Jeremiah Love, or if we sign a good running back in free agency and go wide receiver, I know Mekhi Lemon won. I know he won the Biletnikoff Award, but I don't think he's the receiver we're looking for. Mekhi Lemon is kind of the same. He's the same size, maybe an inch or two taller than Chris Olave. But Chris Olave is, hold up. Chris Olave height. Sorry, I don't know this off the top of my head. Chris Olave 6 foot. Mekhi Lemon height. Mekhi Lemon is 5'11". Okay, so he's literally just Chris Olave, but for USC. And I don't think we want that. I think we would honestly benefit more from drafting Denzel Boston than drafting Mekhi Lemon. So if we do go wide receiver, my hot take for the New Orleans Saints is go reach on a guy like Denzel Boston and hope it pays off. Because honestly, I don't think the Saints can really go wrong with this pick here. My biggest thing is, obviously I mentioned, we won the award for best draft when I think that our guys did an amazing job drafting last year. So does the NFL. Whatever we do at pick 8, I trust. Caleb Downs, I will be kind of disappointed in because Jonas Sanker is really good. And something that people are not talking about is the Saints signed Julian Blackmon, the safety for the Colts. And I thought he was pretty good when he was on the Colts. He was kind of a dog. So we have Justin Reed. We have Jonas, same thing. We have Sanker. And then we have Julian Blackmon, who's also good. I don't think we should go safety here, in my opinion. So whether we get a wide receiver, whether we get Mekhi Lemon, Jordan Tyson, Chris Bell, Jacoby Lane, if we reach that much, or if we don't even go a skill position and get an interior lineman or a defensive end, I trust that the Saints GM and head coach, I trust that the office making the draft picks, making the calls, I trust that they know what they're doing. So I can't really be mad, but this is my ideal draft pick, and this is my ideal Saints offseason. This is how I think the Saints can have the perfect offseason. If there's any GMs watching this, hit me up, and I'll be your draft expert because I know my stuff, right? Yeah, that's how I think the offseason should go down. Obviously, I have a couple more variations of my draft. Let's see, this draft first. Oh, I think all of my drafts I picked Jeremiah Love first because I love Jeremiah Love, dude. Get it? I love Jeremiah Love. All right. But yeah, this mock draft right here, which again I thought was another perfect mock draft from me. But I went Jeremiah Love. Got an A on that. I think the funniest thing is I wasn't making the draft picks finally. This is my first draft where I was doing the research and making all of my picks, not based off what they were recommending me. No, I genuinely think this is the best draft that the Saints can do. So just to recap, get Derek Carr back, trade him for a 6th-round pick, then sign A.J. Brown, Wyatt Teller, maybe another wide receiver, or maybe you sign a running back and go wide receiver, or draft Jeremiah Love. But I really hope that if there's some Saints fans watching this, let me know what you guys want. Tell me who you would draft with pick number 8. Tell me who you would sign in free agency. And tell me who you would re-sign and cut from the players who are becoming free agents who are currently on the Saints last year. And I'll see you guys in the next episode of the Home Turf. Thank you guys for being here for the second episode. And I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.